Hello, here we are with Around the Planet for the month of August. I can't believe it's August. It feels like summer's almost over and it started so late, but we're excited to have a wonderful interview with Ed Mueller, who's been with our company for a very, very long time. He is a fabulous salesperson. So Ed, thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed. I sure appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you.
Well, it's exciting. It's exciting because we've known each other a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you were here before me, so to speak.
Yeah, a few years.
Uh-huh.
Back in the dark ages.
Yeah.
95.
Uh-huh.
I think I started in 93.
Okay.
And I had a shop up the street and I decided, to sell cars. And
Yeah.
Honda was the first place I came to.
Classic Honda.
Yes.
And then Lee purchased it, and
Mm-hmm.
we were fortunate enough to get the team of Ed and Mary,
Ed and Mary,
which
yes.
was a great team. Memory Eternal for Sweet Mary. You guys were a rock and roll team.
Mm-hmm.
Sold a lot of cars.
We did.
You really did. But before we get into the selling part, I want to talk a little bit personal, since I know your lovely wife, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through some old pictures that I found from one of our picnics.
Oh.
And I think it's 2004 is what my notes said. So here's your wife at a picnic.
Mm-hmm. Picnics were fun.
Picnics were fun. We used to do picnics every summer and invite families, and we still do our Christmas parties. But I believe this is a daughter.
Laura.
Is that Laura? We
Yes.
can show these to you too, and we can
Laura.
zoom in. And that's, I think, we're missing one child, and I couldn't find her. Is this one?
Oh, that's Grace. Yeah, Lauren Grace.
So
So we're missing the oldest.
Grace, how old would Grace have been in 2004? She's a baby.
Yeah, that would be
She cute.
probably 11.
11 years old. Isn't that amazing? So we both
And-
all of our kids have grown. Yeah, Lena was.
Yes,
How old is she now? Grace.
28.
28. So she's Elena's age. That's what I thought. And here's good looking Ed in 2004.
Slim and trim.
Slim and trim.
Mm-hmm.
And here we had our egg toss. So we had
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of fun at our picnics. But I found these pictures, and it really took me back in time, and how much fun we have had and we still have, and how you're always just stable in the company. I appreciate you come in early. And
Yeah.
we're sure going to miss you, though, because you're getting ready to retire. That's the big news.
Yes. Yeah, I like coming in early, getting my feet on the floor and ready to go when the doors unlock, and
Right.
throw some emails out, things like that. Mhm.
Right. Well, it's changed a lot, too, from back in the day of, 93, 94, when you started selling cars to now. Like you said, now you come in and you start with your emails and your computer. We didn't have that really at the time.
No, we had one computer for the whole sales floor, and that was just to punch in and punch out.
Yeah.
And it was quite different.
It's very different. It's very different. So I know you've sold to multi-generations of car people and families, and I was going to try and figure out how many cars you've sold, but we've changed systems too many times for me to keep track.
Right.
Do you have any idea?
Oh, it's just under probably 7,000.
That's amazing. 7,000 cars. Can you imagine? And lots of generational families you've sold to.
Generational families. Yeah, I was thinking about that. There's a young man working next door, I think, Julian. He's like lot in charge of the cars, and I sold cars to his grandfather.
Oh my gosh.
He bought 9 cars from me, and then Julian's father bought a car for me. Actually, Julian's driving one of my old Accords right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
06.
I love that story. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that was a good one. I thought about that last night.
Yeah.
Then there was another young man applied for a sales job here the other day, and I sold cars to his parents. They probably bought about 7 or 8 cars.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah.
That's a great
I've had a
testament to
few.
you and how you treat your customers, and their kids come to you and their kids come to you. And how would you say, what is your talent? I mean, what do you do to have that happen? For a new salesperson, what would you say to them?
Well, you got to show up, you
Yeah.
know. That's the first thing. And I don't have any one thing, but I just try to make things a little better the next day and learn from my mistakes. Obviously, if I don't have any mistakes,
Right.
I'm not going to grow.
Exactly.
So those things I try to remember and, what not to do. But, just come into work. I don't know. I've worked since I was 12 years old, so I've never not worked.
Right, exactly.
So this retirement thing is
It's going to be new.
a little new for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
But I'm looking forward to doing some different things and
Right.
some things
You
that
have great hobbies.
I
You used to go fishing a lot. You showed me the pictures. You should bring some pictures in to show. We'll put some pictures on.
Yeah, I like fishing, mostly down in Mexico now.
Right.
And I like golfing. And that gets me outdoors and so I'll keep doing that. Maybe a little more fishing. Maybe I'll go around Colorado a
That'd be
little bit.
nice. Now, does Karen fish, your wife?
Not with me. No. It's been a while. I think we did when we first started dating and going out. I had a little spot up in Bailey. I used to fish there.
Oh, nice.
And bring her with, but it's been a while. But,
Is it not her favorite thing, or she was okay doing it?
No, I think she just likes socializing a little more than fishing. It's not a social sport.
I know. My dad would take me. He'd be like, "We all can't talk."
Right.
But it's, so then we put the bobber on. Then you put the bell on it. So if it jiggled, then I had to pull it in because as you're talking, you don't pay attention to the line all the time.
So you can hear it. That's a good idea.
So Karen and I would be talking the whole time.
The whole
but
time.
You could put a bell on the bobber, and then you see it and it jingles. That helps.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Now I know you mentioned golf. Where's your favorite place to golf?
Fox Hollow.
Nice.
I've been golfing there for 20 years.
Wow.
So I go there twice a week, and
Okay.
same group of guys usually, and I enjoy it. I can only do 9 holes though. That's enough for me.
Right. Right.
It takes so long.
It does take a long time. Golf takes a long time.
Long time, but 9 is reasonable, and like I said, I like going there a couple times a week. Maybe I'll go there 3 times a week now.
Wow.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
I can go.
What's your best game? Is it the long hit? The
Driving?
Driving, there you go. That's your best?
Well, driving is okay. It's not the
your best
best
of your
because
game?
I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Uh-huh.
But I like to think that I'm a pretty good putter.
Okay. I
I
can see
can
that.
usually
You're
get
steady.
it 1 or 2 if
Wow.
it's within 20 feet. Yes.
That's very impressive.
Yes, I like putting. That's a
Wow.
little more exciting.
Oh, wait, let's see who's here. Hang on a minute, Ed.
Okay.
Come on in. Hi, Lee.
Hey.
So, Ed,
Oh,
we have a
it's Lee.
surprise for you. Lee's going to do the
Oh,
next
no.
part of your interview because he's going to talk. He's going to talk old car guy stuff, or should I say, young car guy stuff?
Okay.
Since you're both so young.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, have fun. I hope it's a nice
Okay.
surprise, and
Oh.
I might stay too and just have fun listening.
Yeah.
All right.
Please do. So anyway, Olga and I were talking about this morning. She says, "Why don't you do some of the interview?" And I thought, "Great, I'll do that." So, I wrote down some quick questions. You may have already been asked these, so if they're a repeat, we'll just move on to the next one. So, first car you ever sold. You remember the car or the customer or both?
I do. It was like 68 Volkswagen Bug. Not 10 to 9. We were open till 9. I see this guy with a flashlight under the car, and I was just ready to go home. And can I help you? Oh yeah, I'm looking at this car. So it turns out he buys the car. Get out around 11, and
Typical car business.
yeah, Volkswagen Bug, probably the only one I ever sold. But yeah, it was restored, so it was a nice Volkswagen.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what year was that?
93. It was in July. Yes, it took me 9 days to sell my first car,
There you go.
so it was like July, 30th.
Nice. So that's 30 years ago you sold your first car.
Yes.
Great. So, which customer has bought the most cars from
It's hard to say. I think the one family was 10.
you? Okay, great.
And I mean, I sold probably 7 cars to Jeff Puffett before he even started working
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how he came here from. But used to lease him a car, his wife a car, and I sold a car to 2 of his kids. Yeah.
So when he came on here, that's kind of a big loss of a customer.
Yeah, it was. He's my best customer, and one of my best. And but yeah, I got him referred here and everything.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's pretty
All right.
funny.
Which model of car have you sold the most of?
The most, it'd have to be CRVs.
Series.
Yeah, because once they came out, we had them all sold when they in '78 before they even came in. We had like 40 deposits, I believe, and half the cars I sell every month are CRVs.
Right.
Since they came out, I sold a lot of Accords in the beginning, but now I'm not so much because they're just. But CRV, it'd have to be CRV,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I had to look that up the other day. I was on the road and I was following an original CRV. And I
Right.
was shocked at how small it was.
I saw 2 this morning on the way to work.
And it was, I think it was smaller than the HRV by quite a bit right now. And,
Yeah.
I looked it up. It was 1998. So, what was your favorite car you've ever sold?
I mean, I like the Honda Pilot, I bought one, a new one back in '04, but I don't know, I like the Honda Pilots, I like the trucks, but when I sold I sold a Mercedes once. It was one of those sport cars. What do you call them? The AMG or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of fun.
Good.
But then we had to take it back from. His money was no good. But that was funny. It was a nice car though. I like going on a test drive. But yeah, that was fun. But I remember somebody had one of those Dodge Vipers. I sold that. I think it was like 5,000 miles on it or something, and I test drove that one with them. I never got to test drive a Type R yet, but anyways, one of these days. But that Viper was a lot of fun to drive. I always liked fast cars.
Right. Great. All right. So what was the quickest transaction you ever had? Start to finish. Meet the customer, sell a car. How long did it take?
I've had quite a few actually where they didn't ever test drove the car. They just came in. This is what they wanted. I had one guy recently. I sold him a Pilot, and then he wrecked it within 2 months, and he just came in and bought one off the showroom. Never had to test drive it. Those are usually pretty quick.
Right. Good. Good. Okay. How about the longest?
A year?
A year.
I'd have to say there were a few where I was working on them for almost a year.
Wow.
That's a lot of work. But I just show up and then follow up, and if I don't hear from them for a few weeks, I check in.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Basic sales. Mm-hmm. Follow up. Okay. You've been in sales for a long time, and you've seen a lot of changes over the years. First off, what was your first email address, and when did you get that?
I think the first one is Emailer272 Yahoo. That was.
And you're still using it?
I'm still using it. I had a roommate, or a friend of mine who we got to be good friends with, he bought a car from me. That's how I met him, I think. No, I think he worked here. That's right. And then he bought a car from me when he quit. But he helped me with it. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what to do. Just do this, and he made up a number, and I still use that. Use that today. I have 4 emails.
Right.
That's the one I use.
So it's a Yahoo address.
Yeah.
You know that's a sign of an old guy. A Yahoo address, AOL.
Yeah. The original. But I got a Gmail and Comcast.
Yeah, I had to expire one just for that reason alone. It was like, you got to get rid of it. The hardest transition in the business, with all the changes we've had over the years, what was the most challenging transition in the business?
The negotiation free. Going for a month to training every day.
Yeah.
And you were there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that
was 10 years ago.
Not making any, because I was always on commission.
Yeah.
That was hard, but actually, and it turned into being the easiest way too, because I sold more cars.
Right.
Doing it that way.
Right.
That was the hardest transition.
Yeah.
Besides, learning it when I first came in.
Right. Right.
That was hard, but it wasn't as much training as this negotiation free. That was something else.
Yeah, it's a unique position.
Yeah.
And we've been there for the last 3 or 4 years. The whole industry's been there. Not much negotiation, given the state of the business and with used cars. So, who was your favorite salesperson or favorite manager to work with all those years?
I mean, most interesting guy was Buddy Stack, of course.
Oh, yeah. Buddy Stack, yeah.
Yeah. Buddy, he was, he taught me a lot. I mean, he sold cars in the 50s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he was just
one
of those old school guys. We had this guy named Yoder, and he would tell people, this, you want to buy a car? This is my grandson here. He'll get your information and I'll do the paperwork. Or he'll have
really?
And he would split all his deals with them. That was pretty funny.
Didn't want to do any paperwork.
But he was a character. There's a few characters. But he was one I remember the most. And Bud Selly, he's probably one of my favorite managers.
Yep. Yeah. Great guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's on the mend, so hopefully we'll see him back here soon. So that's good. That's good. Anything you're going to miss about the car business?
Sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes it's great. There's nothing like the feeling of selling a car. There's endorphins or whatever it gets going. It's like, oh yeah, all right, this is easy. It's like getting a one putt on the golf course. Yeah, this is easy.
Right. Doesn't always stay easy.
No, it doesn't always stay easy. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
So I miss that feeling though of helping others too, helping people. They need a car. They don't want to buy a car most of the time. It's just they need a car. You got to try to help them fill their needs.
Right. Yeah. Well, great. With that, I would be remiss in not thanking you for 7,000 plus sales and decades of dedication and being here and going through all the changes that happen in our business and particularly ours. We're going to one price and being a champion of that, making that happen and being a quiet leader on the sales force. So this is how you do it. Not so much by talking about it all the time, but by just showing others, a great model. So I really appreciate all your hard work. Really excellent.
I'm glad that this is the life I chose and it worked out for me, and now I'm able to retire. It's just great.
Yeah, we're glad too. And you're welcome by any time. Coffee's always on. And, you'll have to come and make it actually in the morning. And free lunch whenever they have it. Come by on a Saturday. All right. Well, thanks, Ed. We really appreciate all your years of dedication. It's been awesome. Been awesome. Much success in retirement.
Yeah, it's great working with you and the family.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are great.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have done it without you guys.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay,
All right. We'll see you guys next month.
got it.